of our lives and make sure that we are carrying out purpose and just, just living life. So I'm glad to be here, honored to be a part of this panel. I'm glad to meet everyone, see everyone, and I'm looking forward to some great things in the future.
Amen.
Awesome. Dr. Terry Lamoth, can you come on, introduce yourself?
Well, I'm happy to be here. Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. What a delight it is to be part of the Women Empowerment this evening. I'm excited. I have been in education at the primary level, retiring at principal level. I've been in education for 40 years. And I've been in pastoring along with my husband for as many years. And I want to say that this is such a great initiative to assist women, to empower women, and especially in these times that we are living in. So I'm honored, I'm excited, and what an opportunity it is for us and for women in general.
Thank you so much, Dr. Terry. So now we have Dr. Cheryl White. No stranger to the platform, but Dr. White, can you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm honored to be among these great women of God. Dr. Cheryl White, and my expertise is conflict resolution and organizational leadership. I do a lot of work with solo families, prisoners, as well as the homeless. And it's exciting, an opportunity such as this to be able to help people across the globe by sharing techniques and things that we know. So I'm just looking forward to working with all you women, and I'm just psyched. I'm very excited about this. Thank you guys for having me.
All right, thank you so very much. Now we have Her Excellency, Dr. Marcia Belgrove from the Roman Foundation, a very close friend of ours. Dr. Marcia.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is a wonderful pleasure to be here speaking to you from Trinidad and Tobago. I have been in the field of humanitarian work for over the last 30 years or so. And I have also been an evangelist and a missionary. So for me, the focus on women is a very important one, especially now in regards to the pandemic that we are now experiencing. Every day, girls and women come into my space seeking a way out or a way forward. So this forum indeed is very opportune, and I am so humbled to be part because I believe that the power of the women and the men who are leading this initiative can really make a difference in guiding us how we should go forward in the future. So thank you all very much. And welcome to all of those who will be with us here this evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. And now we have Her Royal Highness Queen Uba IWUNWA. Royal Highness.
Hello, everyone. I'm very happy to be here today. My name is Oba IWUNWA. I'm a member of AUGP. I'm based in Canada. I'm the Chief Ambassador for AUGP in Canada. So I'm very, very happy to be one of you. I'm just looking forward for this evening. Thank you.
Thank you for being with us. Thank you so very much. At this time, I want to introduce my beautiful wife. We obviously have a panel of 3 kids in the other room that's having their own session at the moment.
Hello, good evening.
So my wife has been a very great part of this ministry as the chief administrator of AUGP and other arms of AUGP USA. So,
hi everyone. Good to be here. It's good to join you guys. I'm looking forward to this session and learning so much. I'm grateful for everybody that's taken the time to share their knowledge and give their input. And we're looking forward to having a great time with you all.
All right, so welcome everyone. Just want to say thank you for your efforts, your time, your great sacrifice for being here today. We certainly appreciate it. On behalf of the team, the panel, AUGP One Nation Chapel, United Nations University for Global Peace, in conjunction with Dr. Cheryl White and the Rose Foundation, all our partners and friends, excellencies, with great respect, my chairman, Dr. MADHU KRISHAN, just want to acknowledge him for being such a great part of this ministry. Bishop Joseph Lamott, who have been a very integral, tremendous, and important part of my life personally. And Dr. Terry Lamott, who I've known most of my life. So I just appreciate everyone today, and we are about to get started in this new era of empowering women. And today, Dr. White will be taking the lead in the training along with the other panel. So Dr. White, I'll turn it over to you to get started.
Thank you, Your Excellency, and to everyone in their rightful place. So today we want to help ourselves and each other how to demystify what exactly is a virtuous woman. Because, you know, I grew up in the 20th century, and in 21st century, words have shifted and they have totally changed. And so what we sometimes think is virtuous may not be what other people think. So we want to identify certain topics, and we may not get to all of them, but that's okay, because we're going to do it in a way that we want people to really learn and to be open in a confidential setting where we really can have a conversation going on about women. So how is class defined? That's extremely important. And class and the modern woman, this entails appearances, how we look today versus maybe what our grandparents looked like. Body language and demeanor, and the art of conversation, which is very important. You know, communication is huge. And also we want to definitely look at the Proverbs woman, because so many people have a wrong concept about her. And we want to look at the Proverb woman because she's an example of what a woman should try to attain to be. And we want to look at some gender crisis and stereotyping that we see today in the media and even among ourselves. And then finally, going back to the traits of a virtuous woman. And what does that look like as we continue to explore and become more of what we want to be? So with that being said, how is class defined? Class is a mysterious essence that comes in many forms depending on the woman. So when we think about class, it comes from a woman's sense of herself, her confidence, how she carries herself with courtesy, with kindness, and how this includes a distinct sense of style. Through that style, which can be unique and what? Unconventional. So I would like to ask Dr. Terry, could you please explore this area of class as it's being defined and share with us what your thoughts are about class?
I would definitely think that class is that inner thing, that inner beauty of a woman that comes out and expresses itself on the outside in the way we conduct ourselves, in the way, first of all, that we see ourselves. So we are able to project that wherever we go. And I think it varies from culture to culture. It varies generally where we come from and so on. But that inner confidence is needed in all, so that we could really demonstrate that class, that essence, that beauty that comes from being a real woman, a real lady, I would say. So I would put it like that.
Thank you very much. And if I may get Dr. SHERRYANN to input on this, how do you see class, and what else can we look at as we're trying to help people to understand and to define themselves?
In terms of class, I believe it is that inner energy, that inner sense of confidence as a woman, being able to express your femininity without having validation from anyone else. You validate yourself. As I said, that self-confidence, feeling good about yourself, accepting the skin that you're in, and outwardly showing that inner beauty. Because when you have that love for yourself, when you have the respect for yourself on the inside, it comes out on the outside. So there's this level of confidence. There is this positive attitude. You take care of yourself. There is this sense of self-care. You always want to look well. You always want to be well. Your mind is always in the right place, positive. And then it is that energy that affects everyone in your environment as well. And that sense of commanding respect. When you walk into a room, your presence commands that respect. So I believe that class, is all that inner energy, positive energy that just expresses outwardly and affects positively the persons that are around you.
Thank you so much. And then I would also like Her Royal Highness, Dr. Uber, if you could help us with the definition of class. Let's say, for example, a young woman that has gone through so much. She lacks self-confidence. She really doesn't know how to believe in herself and to bring out that energy. What would you say to her to help to lift her spirit and to teach her how to become more confident in how she sees herself?
Dr. White, who's the question directed to?
Her Royal Highness, Dr. Uber.
Okay, class is an essence. You're born with it. It's an inner beauty of every human being. You have to love yourself to be able to love someone else. So if a young woman that is having problem comes to me, the first thing I will teach that woman is to love yourself, because when you love yourself, you activate the essence of your inner beauty that flows out, that radiates through you. It's an illumination of who you are, of your true self, your authentic self. So I'll teach that young woman to find herself and live her life from her authentic self.
I love that, your authentic self. And that is very true, because oftentimes young people today do not realize that. So being a virtuous woman doesn't mean that you have to be someone that's snobby and stuck up. It's not talking about your academia and your levels that you've reached. It's really none of that. It's about dignity and consideration, especially in a modern world where daily actions are examined by individuals. So a virtuous woman displays self-respect. She radiates because she believes in herself and she loves herself a lot, and she has appreciation, and she has something called ethics. She knows how to sit, to do the things that make sense. She does not allow her mood to affect her manners. So when we think about what drives class, we're telling a person, just as you all said, that the essence of who they are is what radiates from them, and that's what creates class. We're going to look at class and the modern woman, because you see, when you watch a lot of young people today, they do not believe that the things that the older generation, like myself, believe in. They don't see the need for it anymore. They don't believe that we have to have certain behavioral patterns. So one of the things I've expressed to people is that being a female is a matter of birth. Being a woman is a matter of aging in, but being a lady is a matter of choice. If Her Excellency Chief Administrator, Dr. Kalloo, could speak on this point for me, we would appreciate it. We can come back to her. She's probably running around with the kids.
If I may chime in here for a moment, Dr. White.
Yes, sir.
So I believe that you are right in those very powerful quotes there. But I'd like Dr. Terry to express her views on that. Like I said, I've known her most of my life. And we have definitely been through such a great experience of leading so many people to Christ and community-wise. Dr. Terry.
Thank you. I love it. Being a lady is a matter of choice. And many females are born into the world, and that's all they know that they are. They are limited by just that. They are female, and as they get older, you become a woman and you adopt the culture and the posture around you, and you learn from the environment that you are brought up in. And they may not even know what a lady is. They may not have seen it around them. And so I am thankful for the empowerment, because being a lady is a matter of choice. It is not something that you are born with. It is not something that you may see around you. It may be completely contrary to what you see and what you've been brought up to. But when you see little exposures of it other places, you may desire, a woman may desire to say, I want to be a little different from just my gender. I want to demonstrate a demeanor, a behavior, a character that makes me classy, stand out. And I've seen that in a number of places. And many times we need to prod it, to nurture it, to bring it out, because many young women and teenagers don't know how to attain to being a lady, because they are so concerned with being with their peer pressure and being equal with their peers, that they don't know how to be classy or to enter the world of work or that bigger forum. And so what I have experienced is that we need to pull the young woman aside and say, there's more to being a female. There's more to being just a woman that could produce a child or just demonstrate her body parts. But there is something about being a lady, being able to be moderate, being able to be temperate, being able, to take full control of who you are and not let expressions and feelings run wild. And that is what I've learned. It takes a little bit of everything molding that woman into a lady.
That's correct.
Pretty awesome right there. And Dr. White, seeing that we are on that note there right now, I would like for us to spend a little time on identity. I think, I love the quote, because it says, being a female is a matter of birth. There's really no choice there.
Right.
Being a woman is a matter of age. Again, there is no, it's not a matter of choice. But being a lady, I think what I have seen personally, and it's affecting our generation now, is that there seems to be a question of identity. There's an identity crisis that our young women face with today. And if they are not taught, if they are not made aware of who they are, what they were designed to be, they end up being something that they're not, chasing the rainbows, never to find it. So can you take it on that note there?
Oh, definitely. As the piece says, being female doesn't guarantee a young woman that she will grow up to be a lady. And I love what you said, Dr. Terry. Many young people today, they don't get trained, they don't get developed, they don't see this. They, from the minute they come out of the womb, they're on a fast track to becoming what they consider to be a woman, which is really about the age factor of drinking, smoking. I'm doing everything that I think makes me a woman, but they have an identity crisis because they don't even know who they are. If Dr. Marcia Belgrove can just jump in here and tell us what, just teach us something. I'm excited to hear from you.
Well, you know, I have been listening to the dialogue about this process and topic, and it caused me to reflect on my experience with working in high need communities among women and girls who are defined by the men around them and how they should operate. And even they are born into circumstances where being a lady is defined. As a matter of fact, they have their own vernacular of definitions of what these terms mean. So what it means to be a woman and what it means to be a lady. So, and their whole focus is around really what the men in their lives and in the environment expect them to portray as ladies, as women, as girls. And in many of these communities, the girls unfortunately have to become women before they are even a girl, you know, because they are forced into situations where the men around them groom them into what a lady ought to be. And because they are girls, we have found that we have had to intervene and actually mother them and speak to them about, first of all, what it means to be a girl,
Yes.
and what it means to take responsibility for yourself as an individual, how you respect yourself, and about etiquette and good manners, what that means. Because it is such a challenge in our society today where social media is also defining who a girl is, who a teen should be, what a woman should look like, how she should portray herself. Because if we are taking out photos in the community, for example, the postures that are focused are clearly very suggestive, because that is the kind of posture that says, I am a lady, I have arrived, I am it. So we have to indicate to them always and show them and role model and show them the pros, the cons, and the opportunities that are available for them to become better. So we started a program on social graces and etiquette, using the structure of young girls between the ages of 8 to 10. And these young girls, most of them, they have the responsibility of taking care of younger siblings, 3, 4, and 5, while their mothers go out to work and they are left alone and they see the different lifestyles. But what we have recognized in teaching them how to sit at a table, how to eat, we have young boys ages 8 to 10 as well. We created a restaurant scenario in an after-school program. And we had the young men serve the young women. And we had the young women allow the young boys to serve them. And it was really interesting because the young boys wanted to know why we should treat them like that. And the young girls themselves were saying, no, they are not supposed to treat us like that. You know, they are not supposed, they started to laugh at being treated as young ladies. When they had to sit with their legs closed and their shoulders up, they began to complain about how painful it was, because they are accustomed sitting in front of the television with a plate of food, with a spoon in their hand, and eating and then taking it out. So here we were setting a table and putting them in a scenario of themselves and how to practice. What came out of this process is that they went home to their families and to their mothers, and they were explaining to their mothers what it means to sit at a table and to be a lady. So the mothers were very interested, and some of them did not have tables at home. So what they did, they got a sheet and they spread it on the floor, and they put paper plates on the floor and had the family sit around. And these children were teaching now their mothers how they should be sitting together as a family, and how a lady should sit, how a lady should eat, how you must not fill your mouth with all the food, how you have to take small bites. And this created such a furor in that environment that the mothers came out to ask if they could have such a program for themselves, because they were never taught these things. So you're right, you know, you are born a female, you are born a girl, but the rudiments of learning how to be a lady is not as simple as it appears.
It's not present.
Because there are so many factors that are working against you in this process.
Thank you so much for your thoughts. Her Royal Highness, I can see that you want to teach us something here. He can't wait. Go ahead and share us your thoughts and your experiences.
Okay.
Your mic is, yes, there you go.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Professionally, I've mentored battered women, victims of rape, young girls of 13-year-old, 14-year-old, 15-year-old who got pregnant and had a baby and lost their womanhood. I've mentored them. I've been doing this since almost 9 years now. And this topic is very, very important to me. And hearing each and every one of you speak, I'm learning a lot from you that I will take back to that program. The hardest thing for any woman, in as much as we are talking about class and what is a virtuous woman, the core value of a virtuous woman is knowing God. Because the only way that I have been able to get through to these women that their life has been shattered due to life factors is teaching them about Christ. Most of them are Muslim girls who are a 12-year-old girl or 13-year-old girl is being given away to a 50-year-old man or 60-year-old man with several wives. And these girls at their tender age get pregnant. Some of them dies giving birth to the baby. Some of them that survived it, they don't have a life. The only way you can wake up a woman, the femininity in a woman, and that virtuous woman that lies in each and every one of us is the divine power. Finding yourself through Christ. Finding yourself, no matter your religion, through the Creator. Once you're able to teach any girl the quality of knowing the higher power, the God who created us, in any religion, it's a total turnaround in anybody's life. You will see that child that is dressing like a crazy person with tall jeans, with all kinds of piercing. You will see that child walking differently, sitting down differently, speaking differently. If that child is using the F this, F that, as soon as you start mentoring that child in a spiritual way, leading that child to Christ, you will see a total turnaround in their behavior. So I believe that being a virtuous woman is about your core value of your belief in knowing that there is a higher power. Because when I was growing up as a young girl, I was born by a priest. My father taught me about Deborah, about Queen Esther, about Ruth, about Hannah, Sarah, the wife of Abraham. Those are the examples my father raised me with the word of God. I grew up a virtuous woman. I grew up having a courage about me. When I step into an environment, you will know that somebody walked in. Not because my father was the richest person in my family where I grew up. My father was the poorest among his siblings. His brothers, one of them is a doctor, one is an accountant, one is an engineer, one is a senator. My father was a priest. But when I come out I was an only child, but when I go anywhere with my cousins, I stand out. They wear the best clothes, the most richest materially, they wear the best shoes, they wear the best jewelries and the best dress. I wear my simple clothes my mom will buy for me. Most times it's a second-hand dress. But when we go to that birthday party or that event, I stand out. Whatever they are doing, I'll be in front. They'll put me in front. If they're taking picture, they'll put me in front. Whatever they are doing, they put me in front. Not that because I'm very beautiful, not because I'm wearing the best dress, but because of my courage, the way I speak. I'm very humble. The way I treat other children, the way I sit, the way I walk. Those things were things that was embedded inside me through the word of God. So I believe that in every woman, there is that virtuous essence in all of us that can be fortified by teaching that person the morals and the ethics of Christianity.
Thank you. My sentiments exactly. And when we look at life today, how social media has framed everything, we look at, for example, how they try to tell women of today that you are free if you present yourself a certain way. And we have examples of the Kardashian. So to be someone like the Kardashian, you still can be a lady regardless of what you do and how you do your life. You know, they show all these people who, for many, they try to see that. And so I so agree with you that we have to begin to understand that with women, young, older, in between, we have to start setting that thought, that seed, birthing it in them, that it's more than just the things you wear. Yes, maybe back in the 40s and 60s, what you wore literally would say, oh, that's a person of class. Well, class is being defined as the money you had. And Your Excellency, you're so right. It's not about that. You know, parents have to invest a great deal of time into their children to begin to develop these things, not just getting your kid off to being a doctor, lawyer, etc. But we've got to really put it back in. Dr. SHERRYANN, I know you have some good stuff for us, because it's a process for a girl to become a woman and then to develop into a lady. What are your thoughts on this?
Dr. SHERRYANN, let me interject one thought here real quickly, and then you'll come on. You know, I'm listening to this, and Royal Highness Dr. Uba, I mean, just by hearing your experience on that it's not just touching it, it's touching that for what God is using you to do in these young girls' lives, but it's concerning, it's heartbreaking at the same time. And these are the issues that most people are hesitant to speak out against, to to collaborate, to do these kind of things, because there is no rewards for it. And hence the reason we are who we are today. But one thing I want to say is, look, I thank the men who are on with us today and the men who will come on to stand with our women, to support them, to become all that God designed them to be, and to be more than just a look or more than just a personality, but more. And the men who are braving this, I salute you. Let's get more men out to be part of this move, to support the women, to become somebody, and to learn to develop respect and understanding towards the women, the opposite of us. But it takes courage, and it takes you know, the love of Christ to love somebody that you don't know, and to be able to share in those values. So I just feel that I know we have quite a few men with us. I personally thank you for your presence, just being on here right now. This is important for men to know. It's very important for men to know, as we would have our own daughters that we want to help to train and to bring up in a certain way, and to be able to protect them. Sorry, Dr. SHERRYANN, please go ahead.
Yes, I'm absolutely loving what I'm hearing. It's just a joy to my heart. And I just want to agree with all the other ladies on the panel here today. Being a lady is a matter of choice. It is a matter of choice. Sadly, that choice has been taken from some of us, me included. The expectation of the men in my family, of the men in my community, and the men in my neighborhood. There was nothing to look forward to being a lady. You were defined as a woman based on how you look, how your body looked, if you were good looking, if you had long hair. That was our definition. The possibility and the potential of being a mother, that was the definition that was given to us. And I remembered I saw a picture when I was about a preteen. I saw a picture of a lady dressed in business clothes, and she had on heels. And I said, one day I wanted to be like that, but there was nobody in my circle to teach me how to be like that. But I had that within me. And so I sought to connect myself with ladies that looked like that carry themselves. And I said, I want to be like that. And unfortunately, there was not that mentoring process. There was not that grooming. So there was a conflict of trying to be a woman, but still want to get to be a lady. How do I get to being a lady? How do I look like her? How do I act like her? But yet in the environment that I was brought up in, it was a lot of conflict, a lot of quarreling, a lot of bad language and bad behavior. And yet there was this internal conflict of wanting to be better, wanted to be dignified, wanted to be respected, wanted to be valued more than my body and my looks. My even intellect was not even valued because, you know, I was one of the brightest in the neighborhood, and that was nothing, that was not important. And yet it brought a sense of low self-esteem. So when we see young girls and other women, let us not be fearful or you know, step back, but let us see the potential within them to be a lady. Let us show them what it is to be a lady, because there's this internal thing within every woman to be better than who you are, to be more than who you are, to beat the odds and to defy the expectations that all you are worth is just to have babies. You don't have access to education. You don't have access to the opportunities to choose a career. All, you know, so it was just one of those things, and that personally affects me. And then especially when there's this domestic violence, or there's this type of verbal violence against women, where you're told you would never ever be anything, you just sit back and be silent. There's no worth in what you say or what you do. You're just there for my enjoyment or for my pleasure, and it depletes the value of the woman. And in the sphere of things, woman is the other half of God. How can we destroy that half of God when that is supposed to complement the man? That is supposed to give strength to the man and give him all that he needs to be the man that he is supposed to be. And yet there's this destruction of the very essence of God by devaluing the woman. So as I said, being a lady is a choice which is taken from us. But however, we have an opportunity where we can intervene through these discussions, through these programs, even to me, taking me on a higher level mentally, to not be satisfied with where I am at as a woman or as a lady, but to excel to a higher degree where I feel more empowered, and using that power to empower other ladies and other women around me.
Well said, beautifully done. You said something that was very interesting to me. You were talking about, the verbal assault. And sometimes the verbal assault doesn't just come from men, because sometimes it comes from other women. Yes. Who are envious or spiteful. And so let's talk a little bit about that, because, as we talk about empowering women, surely it begins with each one of us respecting each other and helping yes. each other. We don't want to do the hands down. We want to pull up. If I get to the top, I'm supposed to look behind and see my sister. And I'm supposed to say, my sister, why are you so far back? I'm supposed to reach down and one step forward, she's right behind me. But that doesn't really always happen. So, okay, we have an open discussion among the panel about that. What creates that in us? That, I've often heard people say that men tend to be more united together than women are. Yes. We tend to really sabotage each other and be really mean. So yes. Would you like to talk about that, and then yes. someone else can talk about that? Yes. Because that's really important here as we talk about becoming a woman base of choice.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Cheryl, for that, because there was ladies in my life that did tell me, why do you need to do all of that? All of that is not called for. Take your place. So you got the verbal assault from the men, but you also got it from the women as well, because they saw that you had the potential to be great. You had the potential to be more than you were, but because they lacked the capacity to do that, they brought you down with their words. They weren't able to empower you. They weren't able to, add value to you. And it comes from a place of jealousy and envy too, huh? Because where they see a deficiency in them, they spew out that verbal assault against you, instead of saying, you know what, you have this strength. Can I join with you in this strength and building myself up? What they do is they tear down that strength in you. So nobody gets to go up. Everybody stays on the same level. So I agree with you, Dr. White. And that also happened to me as well, where the women where I thought that would have been able to give me that opportunity and provide that opportunity for me to materialize the dream, the image that I saw, they were basically saying there's no need for that. We're all down here on the ground. You stay down here too. There's no need for you to go all up there. That's not required. So yes, it does happen. And we as women must be able to appreciate and accept that there are others that will have strengths, and that we also, appreciate them and thank them, and, give them encouragement and say, can you help me get to that level? I have a deficiency in this area. Can you help me? And, and if we come together as women and we build each other, what a force we will be in empowering womanhood on this earth to become ladyhood.
That's right. Dr. Belford, we haven't heard from Belgrove, sorry. We haven't heard from you for a minute. What do you think about this point? Because you know, this has been my experience as well. And then their mothers who sometimes, because they were abused and they don't know how to really deliver this choice, being a, you know, being a woman is a choice, that they've also helped to destroy a lot of their girls. You know, they tell you you're not going to be any better than you are. You're going to be this, you're going to be, what's your position on this, Dr. Belgrove?
I think that the most and the first consideration has to be that sense of your spiritual being. Because women who display these traits, they are really very insecure in themselves. They lash out, and sometimes they cannot lash out where they really want to. So the first person who come into, they begin that lashing out process. And what I have learned over time, love can overcome all things. We have to first be secure in ourselves. And we have to recognize that when someone is lashing out at us, or they seem to be negative, or they seem to be aggressive, because aggression and violence seem to be a natural part of our society now, because this seems to be the only way that people feel that they have a voice. And in general, women have a voice. That is why this forum is so important, because it is giving women a voice that they can express the things that they feel, and they can hear the things that they feel being expressed as well. So it's bringing that spirituality, that understanding that God is in you. And if you understand God is in you and you were sent to this earth for a particular purpose to fulfill, you first have to understand that you could have been born a man, you could have been born an animal, you could have been born, but God caused you to become a creator with him. Because there is something inside of us as women that no one else has. That is empathy. And that empathy, when we experience lots of challenges in our lives, the lives around us, and we begin to feel we are being taken advantage of. But for ourselves, when we encounter women like this, I have experienced that the more aggressive or the more negative and the more love that you show, the more kindness that you show, it is the more changes. You would not see it immediately, but if you observe, because it's very easy to meet someone on their same level. If they are aggressive, to become aggressive as well. But it is not very easy for the aggressor to know how to handle someone who is peaceful. And prayer is very, very key. Prayer is very key to that. You know, teaching someone how to pray, not how to say prayers. You know, and that your inner voice, that innate experience that you have someone to talk to. You know, we say in the middle of the night, when my back's against the wall, right? It's only God and God alone. You are never alone. We have to get that message out to women that you are never alone and you have choice. Because we say it being a lady is a matter of choice, but do the ladies know that? Do we know that? And how do we get ladies to know this is a choice that you have? You know, and the way to do that is really to build on the spirituality, you know, on the relationship between God and themselves. Because remember, we have been taught all our lives that we will be validated by someone else. So we have to learn that we don't have to be validated by someone else, because God already has validated us, because he has placed his faith in us. He has brought us into his creative space where we can become what he wants us to be.
Amen.
You know, there's no one else like us in the universe. You know, so we are likened unto him, and we can multiply, so that when we are being sought to be diminished, that exercise of bringing us into that God consciousness will begin to remove this pathway of fighting to belong, fighting to have a voice. And generally, what I have found, most of the time that you find someone is being bitter, being envious, being not nice, it is because they respect you, you know. You might find this a very unusual pathway to take, but they respect you. And their question in their mind is, why can't I be like you? So they respect you, but yet they are angry at you because I should be where you are. You know, and if we understand that, you say, come along, sister. You
Wow.
don't have to like, no, I can help you. You know, and this is how we can begin. Love, love, love. That
Your
is the key.
Excellency,
Thank you.
that is deep, what you just said there. I must say that I think we need to expound a little bit on the note of validation. But we'll come back to take a note, Dr. White. However, I must agree with you, Your Excellency Belgrove, is because people, when you see, I always refer back to the mango tree. When you see the ripe mango at the very tip at the end of the tree and you want it, you take stones and you take rocks and wood and whatever to pelt at it to get it because you want it so bad, not because you hate it. When people see something in you and they come almost like attacking you, it's not just because they want to attack you. I agree with that. They see something in you that they crave, they want. And that's a very, very, very notable observation there. I totally agree. Dr. White.
I'm going to have Her Royal Excellency comment on all these topics. She'll be the last speaker before we open up to all others. So Her Royal Excellency, can you share with us your wisdom, please?
Oh, you're muted, Your Royal Highness. Unmute.
I keep muting it.
Go ahead.
Okay, hearing everybody speak, I'm just speechless. Like this is a very good topic. Thank you very much. And this is the first time I'm hearing the word being a woman is a choice. It's just amazing. Thank you very much for saying that, because you have given me a gift today by saying that word, being a woman is a choice. I never knew that I had that choice. I was born in a culture where a woman is not considered a legacy of her parents. I was born an only child. Does that mean that my father doesn't have a legacy? It wasn't my fault that I was born a woman. I was born of a royal blood, but I cannot carry on the legacy of my lineage because I'm a woman. I grew up as a little girl watching my mother cook in tears, do everything in tears, cry every day because she doesn't have a hair that will take over after my father. Meanwhile, she has a child, I'm a child. I grew up watching my father in tears. My father prays to God in tears. Community, sometimes people bullied him for not having a male child. When I was 10 years old, somebody challenged my father for the throne. And the person asked my father, who will take after you when you're gone? When you're gone, your name is vanished. I came back from school that day and I saw my father in tears, crying. And I asked him, I said, Father, Papa, why are you crying? He told me what they told him at the meeting today, because nobody would take over after him. a 10-year-old girl right in front of my father. And I became a 50-year-old girl in the body of a 10-year girl in front of my father. And I looked at my dad. I needed an answer, and I said, am I not a child? My father looked at his 10-year-old girl right in the eyes. He didn't know what to do. The only thing my father could do in his tears is to place his hand on my head. And he looked up in the sky and called on God to bless his child. From that particular moment, I made a choice to do whatever any man can do. I can do it better. I made a choice to fend for orphans, because orphans are the brothers and the sisters that I never had. I've lived all my life fending for people in need, being a voice for the voiceless and being a hope for the hopeless, because I believe that I'm a woman. I have something to offer. I have something to offer more than a man out there. It has been my battle all my life. So being in this conference today and this dialogue is about having that choice. I realize that this is a choice I made at 10-year-old. Nobody made this choice for me. I was bullied in the community all my life. People called me names. That child that came out and locked up her mother's womb. That was my name growing up. But that didn't destroy me. It made me a better person. It made me a woman that I look into the mirror every day and I'm proud of myself. It made me a woman that has upheld the legacy of her father, notwithstanding what the society says, notwithstanding what custom and tradition says that I cannot hold up my father's legacy. I got married into a royal family, but that didn't make me who I am. What made me who I am is the choice I made to be a woman of dignity, a woman of confidence, a woman of integrity. The world has battered my life. Tradition battered my life. Culture failed me. Society failed me as a woman that cannot uphold the legacy of her family, royal bloodline. But I did not fail myself. I am what I am today because I believe in myself. I believe that I have something to offer. I believe that I am a human being, carried 9 months the same way a mother carries their son 9 months, gave birth the same way a mother gives birth to a son, raised the same way a family raised their male child. I have the right of my birthright of the legacy of my father. Whether I'm a woman or not a woman, I have a choice. Every woman has a choice. I am very grateful for this topic. And I'm very grateful that maybe from my experience, I'll be able to give myself to another woman who does not believe in themselves. Thank you.
Wow, what do you say after that? Your Excellency, Dr. Kalloo, is this where we open up for everyone?
Yes.
Excuse me.
Yes, we will end the slide, Dr. White, and let's open it up. I believe we would have questions and comments. I just want to thank the panel so greatly tonight. Her Royal Highness Dr. Uba. I must say your experience and your experiences that you've shared has been very touching, very, very overwhelming. So at this point, we're going to open it up for discussions and questions. I'm going to ask if anybody have questions, please raise your
Excuse me.
hand.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, I'm sorry. This is Minister Alfabo Falharika Ilbe representing the Monisoy Nation.
Yes.
And I love all of you ladies, and I want you to know something. You are loved, you are beautiful, and I like to open my statement by saying, all praises to Odumare, all praises to Mother, Yemonja, the mother of all waters. And I would like y'all to know and see things from a different perception that we all are women. We all came from the womb, man, woman, and child. And we all must empower each other. And the biggest thing that I love everything, and I honor you ladies so much. And there's the one thing Dr. Cheryl said and Oba said. She said that being a young lady, a young lady was never allowed to be because y'all were forced into womanhood. And being a young lady, so you never had that decency to be a little child first. You were given great responsibility from the universe that was rushed upon you. And there's a lot of things that came with that. But you were honored so much to be a porthole for the Most High to bring forth the greatest gift in life. And you were honored, and I honor you. And I honor everything you do. And I really don't understand how men can come forth and say, okay, I'm better than you. We are all equal because we all came from the womb. And then another thing I wanted to address was when I watch women raise their young ladies, they treat their young ladies with so much disrespect at times because they were not raised with proper decorum or etiquette. And so, and they treat their sons with so much, so they're so harsh on the young ladies. And they go ahead and spoil this young man, and he sits back and gets rewards that he didn't earn. And she earns all of this, and she proves herself as the woman she is, as the gift she is to creation, as a procreator. And he sits back and watches and abuses her mentally. He abuses her physically. He abuses her emotionally. He doesn't let her express, represses her energy and drains off of her, and he empowers himself selfishly. And I'm very appalled at our behavior. And all men are not like that, but I have to take accountability before it, because if I bear witness to it. And that's all I would like to say.
Thank you so very much. Well said. Well said. You said it as you were saying it for me.
What?
What? All right, we have some folks here who raised their hands. Dr. Ebel. Hello, Dr. Ebel.
Good evening, everyone. This topic is so interesting. At a stage, he went so emotional. Like Dr. Ba was saying, I think it depends on the culture and where you are coming from. Like some of us that are from Nigeria, our experiences are exactly the same thing I had growing up. She was a single, the only child, but my mom had us as 5 girls. So it was so challenging when we were growing that everybody is like, oh, what is this family going to be? There is no boy in this family. How are they going to? My father will feel the same way, her own father was feeling. But I tell you, I think life is about choice. And most times the ladies, when you are challenged in that direction, you will find yourself coming out a better person. The five of us grow in the environments, and today, because of the challenges we had growing up as ladies and all the frustrations our parents went through, we became something that is extraordinary because we grew to begin to challenge every other person, and we found ourselves at the top today. In my family, many of them are doctors, lawyers, and we found ourselves as being challenged by that attitude of the environment, when we were growing up as being only girls. And I tell you, like, Dr. Bass said, is something that you have to stand on your own. I didn't feel so emotional, like the way she felt. I felt that because of this, I have to stand up and I have to be somebody that God has created me to be. It's not about what anybody says or what the environment triggers me to be. And I'm happy today that, what a man can do, I also can do, and I can do it very well. So I really appreciate Dr. Belgrove and others, Dr. White. God bless all of you. And I think we're making waves, and we're not giving up to anything. And, it's coming up very well for some of us that are ladies from the family. That's what I have to contribute. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ebel. We have Gerard who has his hand up. Gerard, can you come in?
Yes, hello. Greetings, everybody. Hi, family. How's everybody doing?
All good here, Gerard. Thank you for being here.
Well, always. It's always an honor. I appreciate everybody. Yeah, I was definitely listening to everything, and everything was beautiful. You women are the foundation, and I highly always respect and honor everyone. Define feminine, male, define everybody. A lot of the things they resonate, but the main thing is that we all work together, women and men, no matter what, because it's duality. You can't do one without the other, and that's what makes us powerful. But unconditional love is what's more powerful. And as long as we have a respect for each other, no matter what, you're gonna always persevere, and no matter what, my goal is, and our goal is global peace and finding a resolution. We all have children, we all have families. I have daughters, you have daughters, we have an aunt, sister, mother. The point is respecting each other, and that's the important thing that we always have to remember and apply and implement. It's imperative.
Thank you.
I love you.
Thank you very much, Gerard. We certainly appreciate your support. I'm going to ask Pastor Tricia to come on for a moment, and we're all going to just try to keep our thoughts within the range of under a minute to allow others to come in. Okay, please.
Always.
Pastor Tricia.
Hi, everyone. Your Excellency, Dr. Kalloo, I am truly, truly blessed. I am truly, truly blessed. Actually, I came from work yesterday and I was so excited for this program. I thought it was Tuesday. So I said, I have to log in only to realize it was Monday. But, I was so excited, and, thanks to the panel, they did a wonderful job. And so much was said. And just to reiterate, Miss Dr. Belgrove, when she spoke about we don't have to be validated by anyone because God has already validated us. And that just stood out for me, because we have to believe in who we are in Christ as women, and I really thank the panel. They did a wonderful job. I'm truly blessed, and really, really, I am filled. I am overjoyed this evening.
Thank you so very much, Pastor Tricia. Dr. Winston McKenzie. Unmute, you gotta unmute. There you go.
Very much. Can you hear me now?
Yes, go ahead,
Yeah.
my brother.
Thank you very much, Doctor. I'm truly moved this evening to hear all the commentaries of these wonderful ladies. But I distribute holistic fertilizer. I'm ambassador to the Commonwealth for holistic fertilizer, and I've realized that through my work, there is so much going on amongst our people. We're not just sitting back and waiting for tomorrow to come and praying and hoping things will happen. And this panel of ladies tonight proves that there is so much hope out there. Things are changing, and we must continue to hold that hope and believe in Christ Jesus, that if we carry the word of the Lord and abide by his commandments, things will change, our luck will change. It's not just about luck, it's about our integrity and our willingness, the will, desire. And it's that will and desire that will give us the power to make change, and change is coming. This panel of ladies tonight proves exactly what I'm saying, that change is coming. We must hang on in there, and we will live to see our children grow and initiate what our and make good the legacy our forefathers left for us.
Thank you, Dr. Mackenzie. Appreciate your comment and your thoughts there. Pastor John. Pastor John, can you unmute for a moment? Hello, Pastor John.
Hello, good night, Dr. Kiwi.
Good night, good night.
The panelists, I really enjoy. The devil is a liar. The devil had prevented me from taking this session. But God is good. I really want you to send a tip for me, because I have a young daughter, and I even called my wife for us to listen to this session. But somehow the internet, we had some problems. I'm using free devices and none of them I can get through.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
I desire that you continue this panel discussion. And I believe we all are blessed, and especially hearing what is happening in the world.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Pastor John. We will. I'll send it to you.
Yes, yes.
Thank
Praise
you.
the Lord.
Chief Levi.
Peace. Peace, love, and light to all. Thank you again, Chief Kiwi Kalloo, for inviting me to this wonderful presentation. Women are the front and center of society, and they are humanity, and they need to be uplifted at all times. Unfortunately, in the society we live in now, they are merely sex objects to be played with and thrown in the trash. And now you see what's going on now with Mother Earth fighting back with all these earthquakes, quote unquote, mudslides, because Mother Earth is sick and tired of being sick and tired. And like the previous statement, there is still hope that we can turn the page and build a better society. And for that, I'm grateful and I'm glad to be a part of it, and look forward to the rebuilding of our nation through the woman, as we all came through. Peace.
Thank you, Chief. All right. I'm just going to call a couple random people just to give some opportunities here. And I specifically called some men because of the fact that I know that we need to support the women. We need to take a stand for what is truth, what is just, what is right, to make a difference. Dr. Charmaine Beckford. Charmaine Beckford. Right, we'll come back to you. Esther Duff.
Good night, everyone. I must say that this afternoon session was really, really dear to my heart. I listened to Dr. SHERRYANN from Barbados, and having born and grew up in the Caribbean as well. I'm in Trinidad now, but I was born in St. Vincent. So my experience was kind of similar to what Dr. SHERRYANN shared with us. And I'm really happy to be here. I can say that I've learned a lot on this panel, and I wish that we continue this forum because we need it as women. We all need to express our experiences and learn from each other. So I'm really, really thankful for hearing everything that was said tonight, and I'm blessed. I'm really, really blessed. Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much. So now that with the panel, I'm going to ask the panel to just give their final thoughts before we close out. Dr. Terry Lamott.
Oh, how amazing it was tonight. I am so thankful for all of us collaborating and opening up and sharing ideas and helping us up. We have done a tremendous job. The love on the platform tonight is so powerful that instead of fighting and pushing each other down, I'm looking at women that pull down each other. I felt the energy, the love, the strength to push one another up, to pull one another up, so that there is hope for us that we could make a better day. And teaching our young ladies how to be a lady, how to choose right, how to be right, how to fit into this beautiful world. I think this forum is very, very powerful in me. Thanks to everyone.
Thank you very much for all your inputs and for being here and being part of this forum. Dr. SHERRYANN.
Yes, I am truly moved tonight by all that I've heard. I was able to share something that I wasn't able to share for a while, and I am inspired to, to do more. I love this panel. I love the support, especially from men and from the other women as well, but from the men. It is really good as a woman to have that support from the men. And I just look forward to a whole lot more discussion. I believe that this is just the beginning, and I believe that we are going to do a lot of good things going forward to empower each other, men and women, and as we go forward. So thank you so much for all the support and the encouragement.
Thank you very much, Dr. SHERRYANN. I just want to say hello to Priscilla, one of my wife's friends that's on with us. Priscilla, can you come on for a moment?
Yes, of course. I'm so sorry. I'm having like some noises in the background.
All right.
Yeah, that's why I'm so sorry. Okay. So hi, everyone. It was a pleasure to be here. Thank you for inviting me. Okay, I was going to introduce my daughter, but she is crying right now. So thank you. I really appreciate you always like educating us regarding like the role that the women have to have in society, especially in today's society, and how like many people have kind of like changed that view into that into our mindset, starting from our education, and how social media or like entertainment try to separate from the image that God has for us, especially like since the beginning of the world, like we were designed to be part of this family and to have a huge and important like role in God's ministry. And he specifically Jesus Christ, like he chose women to be part of his discipleship, as we remember. And sadly, maybe we have just been deceived sometimes, and we forget how important we are. And I believe that we have to keep on sharing that message and encouraging other women to know that they are valuable in God's hand, and that whatever their message is going to impact tremendously in this society. And it doesn't matter where they come from or their culture or anything they have done before. whatever we have to do is trust God and trust whatever He has put in our hearts, you know, because any experience that we have like had before, any experience, it'll teach us to be stronger anytime. And that spirit is the one that we have to share with other sisters, you know, to help her in any situation they are going through right now. And I believe that with that courage, we can impact so many women's life. And thank you for sharing like everything, all your experiences. My daughter is like a little crazy today, but I've been hearing like a lot. And thank you for inviting me also.
Thank you so much.
Annie, thank you so much.
Thank you very much for being here. It would not be, I can't finish this off tonight. I'm going to ask Dr. Comfort just to say hello for a moment. Dr. Comfort.
Thank you, Chief Governor, Dr. T. And thank you all the plenary members and everybody. Good evening. Pleasant hearing from our guest speakers. In fact, women, I will say here in Ghana, and people from Ghana anyway, Ghana here we say women who were born last, and we are the best. The last is the best. And God created it out of another thought. After creating the whole of man, and God said that, oh, if he cannot be alone, he has to make a special person for her to be a helpmate. So we are very proud of that. And yes, I love that comment that you said that to be a woman, yes, it's just natural. But be a lady is a choice. But thanks to my mothers or some women in the circles who have brought some of us up, who would have been like, well, that's the other speaker was saying, we're just walking around without knowing what to do. It is dignity in being a lady, much more, because what God has put into us. I also say that God had compassion. Jesus showed compassion, and you can find compassion made in women. We have that special gift, and if this gift is birth, and this gift is nurtured, a woman can be a person of a substance and can be a help to humanity. Thank you so much for.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Comfort. It's a pleasure to have you. Thank you for your comments. All right. Her Excellency Marcia Belgrove.
Yes, I was listening to all the comments, and I am saying that God is indeed working His purpose in this forum at this time, because I was saying without the womb, none of us would be here. And therefore, if only for that reason, a girl is the most important individual in the whole world, because without that womb, we won't be here. And the greatest example of class has been displayed in the past and in the women who have shared their experiences and their love, because there is no greater example of what we are talking about than what we do. And what we have done is portrayed what it means to be a girl, which we still can be, and we will remain, and we should remain in our girlhood state, and what it is to have class, the example that we set. And I remember when the Blessed Mother was called, the angel Gabriel came unto her and said, you are going to conceive, and the son you will conceive is Jesus. She said, be it done unto me according to thy word. So we also have to have God in our lives, and we have to say to him, Lord, be it done unto me according to thy word, that I may fulfill your purpose here on this earth. I thank all of you so much for this moment, and to meet my sisters and brothers from all over the world, because it tells us we are in one universe and we are one family under God. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Her Royal Highness, Dr. Uba.
Yes.
Your final thoughts before we close off tonight.
The final thought is, like, I want to thank everybody, each and every one of you. May God bless you. May God be with you. And especially the men that are empowering women. May God bless each and every one of you for coming out to support us. It means a lot. And for all the women, together, we will make a difference. Thank you all.
Thank you, Your Highness. Dr. Cheryl White, you've done a tremendous job. And we always value your input and thoughts into this. But just share your thoughts.
I would just say it in one statement. We are women, and we're happy to be here. Watch us roar. Blessings, everyone.
All right.
I must apologize for my departure. The Kalloo household is a little bit much today. We have a rambunctious 5-year-old, a 3-year-old that has a separation anxiety, and a almost 1-year-old that's teething 4 at once and is having a very hard time. So I did hear a lot of it. And maybe next time we will try to have somebody come in for the hour, or, you know, work it out better that way.
Yes, that's all right.
All right. So I want to just say thank you to everyone. Eden, back. Those are the girls, by the way.
Woo!
So we decided to do the women's empowerment every other week. So next week, Tuesday, we are going to have training. Everybody is welcome. It's along the same lines of empowerment, but we are really focusing on the women's empowerment on bi-weekly. So next week will not be the women's empowerment, but all the women, you are welcome and will be part of it, just like we are doing today. So the following Tuesday would be women's empowerment again. But I so want to thank you for your efforts, your time, your sacrifices. To the men, I thank you greatly for the support. It's a great thing when we can come together and support our women. It's needed, and we got to take a stand. If we don't take a stand, who will? It's not about looking to the left and looking to the right to see who is going to do it first. Let's not look to the left or to the right. Let us be the ones to rise up, take a stand, and do something about the issues that we have today. So I thank you very much to the women that came out today. I thank you so very much for investing your time in yourself and all the reasons that you have to be involved in this awareness, in this training, in this encouraging atmosphere, so that you can become all that God designed you to be. Once again, thank you very much. And just to reiterate that it's the same link we're going to be using over and over again. So you do not have to go to try to find another link for the different sessions. We do have training on Tuesday nights and Thursday nights at 6 p.m. So thank you once again. I want to say God bless everyone. Have a blessed night. And to those that have to travel, safe traveling. God
Thank
bless you all.
Good night.
And we will see you on Thursday and next Tuesday.
Yes.
Thank
Good night,
you.
everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, everyone. Thank
Have
you.
a good night, you guys.
Bravo.
Good night, everyone.
Good
Good
night,
night.
everyone.
Good night. See you guys.